Okay, so here we are with our Craftsman, older, late 80s, early 90s, inch style torque wrench. We have finished calibrating it, and so the only thing left for me to do is to put this plastic plug on. Just press it in. Like that, and that's now on, and this is done. And you watch the rest of the video, you'll see me take it put it all back together with helpful information, because I didn't know if I was going to succeed on this. So there you go. Hey, so we're going to be showing you how to work on a older Craftsman inch-pound torque wrench. And since I do not know what I was doing and everything else, it's going to be starting from it's going to be going to the reassembly part, because I now have it all apart. But I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that, etc., etc. My torque wrench was having a few little problems, and it wasn't reading accurately, and I wanted to try to correct that. And I'm not sure if when something got jammed, but later I found out something got jammed. So we'll start into that. We're going to start reassembling it, and we'll just take it. It won't take too long. And so here we go. Let's get started. So this little thing here is cool. It's from Husky, from Home Depot, and it has stuff. This part here, this guy here goes up into your main body. This spins, and when I pulled this out apart, it did not spin, and I actually originally thought that this was one unit. Eventually I figured out, hello idiot, it's not. There are two small pins that some people, because when this is in here and it's like this, you have a pin in here and a pin in there. And some people think it's a drive pin and you can just drive it out, but it's not. There are two small pins, some tapping, and a magnet, and those two small pins can come out, and that's how you get that out. And those two small pins are 0.1550 in diameter and 0.1695 in length. And they're like that. And they go in here and hold this in. And I know a few people on the web are going, hey, I can't drive them out. Well, no, they don't go all the way through, and etc., etc. Anyway, so we're going to reassemble this, and to do that, we have the spring. I'm using some white lithium grease. This is a smaller spring. I don't actually know how this thing works. It has torque and everything else. I mean, it has, pressure. So this spring here, this goes onto there, that goes there. And that goes right up in here. Like that. And then there is this guy right here, which I probably so you put a little grease here, because this is going to go against that, and so this has a divot that goes on top of this little lump pin, so it doesn't fit real tight, but it will spin there. And then that has a little divot that holds that little spring at the right spot. And this goes in here, and then let me see here. Before I do that, before I put that in, I want to spray this with some WD-40 because I don't need this thing getting jammed up again. This goes in here, and then you take the two pins and you just insert them. One in. And one in. Now, that's locked. This will adjust. There are two nuts that go on here, hold the handle on. So we have this. Now, reason I did it is because that way I put it in, because earlier when I tried to assemble it, I didn't realize the one thing that was all locked up. This thing here, we're going to put a little grease on this. This has some bearings. They can fall out, so be careful. As a matter of fact, since they can fall out, if anyone knows how this works, I'd be happy. Please let me know. Most of the things torque wrenches that I've seen on the web do not have something like this. I saw one person that had something like this, and they're just generically. I don't know how this works. It has some ball bearings in here. Wonderful. Has a spring. I hope it's not busted because it has little divots for bearings and a spring. You know, it's got a spring around it up here. I don't know how it collapses or anything else. Now there's a pin, a little guy, the thing that goes cams off, that is here. That is this. And it doesn't fit in, you know, it doesn't fit in this way to that. It doesn't go this way. It goes, of course, that way. Just like that. Goes in. And it's going to mesh with this. if this plastic thing with the bearings is busted or out, torque wrench will not, it won't be fixed, and I won't know really what I can do. Then I guess I can try to move the spring and shove the metal thing in, and obviously, like, since it has a spring, so this just goes, let's see, I'm trying to remember if anything else, I think this went directly against the spring. There we go. So that just went direct against the spring, and then let me see. You want this to be, you wouldn't put it in this way. You put it in so that it's with how the head is going to be. Then the head, this is a rubber O-ring. This is also kind of rectangular, so you got to have it all in. Okay. And there's that thing right there. The pin came. I have to back this off quite a bit. There. There we go. Now, silicone. Okay, that's in there. There's a very tiny clip. Put on. Very tiny C-clip. See, that goes right here. Holding that pin in. Right now the pin's held in with spring pressure because I had to shove it quite hard. We're going to have to adapt it. I don't have a tool that for this small of a clip. that went. Okay, so that clip is on. I may show you how to do this. Okay, I'll show you how to do this in case you have a problem. If you have this type of deal, I had a hard time figuring it out. There's a couple videos. Somebody had a ratchet and they showed very nice. So this right now works that way. And then it works this way. Now, it's very hard to see, but I believe that there's a difference between this side and this side. Just a slight difference in the head. I'm not totally sure on that, but I believe that there is. Somebody on the web mentioned that there is. Somebody that showed me a real cool way to reassemble this. So I'm going to just take this apart so that you can, if you happen to have the same type of ratchet. One thing to know about torque wrenches is I've looked around, and one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because they're way different. Hey, torque wrenches work like this. Yeah, mechanical torque wrenches all have springs and this and that, and they all are way... How they work is like, really? So, when I take this out, there's going to be a little spring. So, I earlier had disassembled this and put in some grease. But this guy here, this pin, so this needs to go in like this. Over here. And then this little pin here goes, this pin here goes on into that slot, and then when you kind of go it over, you have to make sure that this metal piece doesn't catch the pin. So that goes downward. Insert this here, rotate, and it's in. Goes in very specifically. I know it looked like, oh, I made it look so easy, but I had some problems with it. Putting it back together. So I just figured I'd let you know. As a matter of fact, I didn't get it right. See, it's not working right. Alrighty, great. It's not in. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, we gotta redo this. Yeah, I know so much about what I'm doing. So you hold that down. We're gonna move this. Come on. There's our red grease. I'm not gonna remove it right at the moment. That thing there goes there. There we are. Now, trying to get that. Come on. guess I shouldn't have. I get it. Yes. So there you go. That works. And that works. And if you can't tighten this screw all the way down, you know, it's something wrong. Okay? Because I was like, well, if I loosen the screw up, it works. And if I don't tighten, I just have the screw a little loose. Wasn't it all the way tight before? Okay, so now, okay, I brought this out. These are 11 millimeter socket, 11 sixteenths. These are 11 sixteenths socket will fit that. But that is generally too tight. It won't go into this hole. If I bought one and then redid it down, it would. So we're screwing this on. WD-40. Screwing that on. And then there's ridges in here. You take this, you line up your 0 line up your 0 with the here. There's your one pin, your other pin. They can just fall out. If you go here, you got to watch it when you disassemble it. They can just fall out. These ones started falling out. Maybe the one you have might end up being a little rusty and jammed, but you do not drive them out. They are 2 pins and they fall out, or a magnet, you can help pull them out, or a little anti-rust and some time, but don't try to drive them out. At least on an older US Made Craftsman wrench. So this here is there, that's 25. This is the 0 mark. I take this, and there we go. And you see here we're way up at that. So screw that down. Put this here. There we are. Right at 0. Now it might not be right good, but it's right at 0. Now I can take this nut, put it in here. This has spark plug thing. This is 18 millimeter. 18 millimeter will work for 11/16. It's a little loose, but it does have the advantage that it goes in here. And what am I doing right now? I'm holding the handle and I'm tightening that nut. This wrench is now together. There's a cap that goes on here, and I'm going to put that cap on as soon as I have adjusted the torque, which I'll adjust the torque by having this nut a little loose and using my Allen key and adjusting that so that it goes off at 25 inch-pounds. And we're gonna add on. We're gonna stop this right now, and we're gonna go and add on and show you how to adjust the torque. Okay, so we have our inch-pound torque wrench that we are going to adjust. Now I'm using a torque wrench tester thing to adjust. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube where people use some weights, or you could get something like this power wrench thing. They're a load cell transducer inside, and they're all fairly accurate. And so you could do a thing like that. This comes with a bench vise, so you can test your torque wrench. You put this in a vise, put that in, adjust your wrench. I mean, you can set your torque wrench, see what they go off to, and check it, so you can check the accuracy. You can get something like that also from something similar, like from Harbor Freight in the Quinn line, etc., etc. So this thing here, anyway, I welded up a deal. So this is what I have, and we're going to get this torque wrench adjusted. Oh, way over 30.86. So since that's 30.86, I now turn this, keeping this handle here straight. I turn, probably got to loosen that nut. I don't think the nut's loose. There we are. That doesn't change anything on the tightness. And then to loosen this, I back that. I turn that in. It's going up. I back this off. There we go. Try it now. Oh, 21.77. A little bit more. I'm going to turn it to come on, go to 0. 25.36. There we are. Gee, man, it doesn't take much.
It's just a little tweak.
Should have left it at the other. .61. Well, that increased it, but it went down, which is showing you about. They do, vary. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna just tighten this like that. Hold this. Tighten the screw. And there we go. This is at 25 locked. Let's see what it does. 25.71, 25.22, 25.02, 25.67, 24.54, 25.34. Come on, go to 0. 24.78, 25.32. That's pretty good. Now this will go up to 50 inch-pounds. So we are going to set this to 50 inch-pounds. Hopefully it will be around close. That's 40. And that is 50. Not good. But there was 48.3 in the green, 49.53, 49.32, 48.64, 48.32. Oh, look, 52. It is what it is. That's out of the 4%, but mostly 50.04. It is right on. So now I take the torque wrench and I move it back to 0, and then the spring's under a little pressure. You don't want to relax it too much because you don't want parts going, and everybody says, well, don't go down, but you've seen how this goes together. So, and the pressure we had to shove to over here, so we can just go down just a little bit, and there you go, to bring it up. So yeah, just relax the spring a little bit at 25, so it's not all as stressed at 25. And that is that's it.